One of the massive benefits of being a member of my newsletter brotherhood, the Michael McLean World Building Letter, is you get to fax me, email Leanne, or mail me any marketing, sales, mental toughness, peak performance questions that you have for free, no additional charge. You have access to me every month to ask me your thought out marketing challenges, sales issues, employee issues, and I respond to your fax or your email to Leanne or your mailed in question within usually a couple of weeks. You also can ask questions, marketing questions, sales questions, business questions, life questions that I address on our monthly Dog's Breakfast press conference. It's a live 90-minute webinar for newsletter members only. So you're gonna love this story. I have a newsletter subscriber who owns a Porsche dealership in the Midwest. And this gentleman sends me a fax 7 months ago. And he says, Michael, he goes, you know, we're having a difficult time moving product. In other words, Porsche cars, Porsche vehicles. And he said, I'd like your advice on getting my salespeople to sell more. He had four or five salespeople working for him at the dealership, selling the cars themselves. And so he faxed in a question. He said, you know, since the China virus, since things have opened up, things are slower in our dealership in terms of the last few months because the economy is changing. People are more scared. People are more frugal with their purchases. And I was reading this, I was like, bullshit. That is projecting your own ideas and mindset onto your industry. That's projecting your thoughts and opinions. It's not based on fact. The fact of the matter is, an entrepreneur like you or me, you make your own economy. It doesn't matter if it's 2009 or 2023 or 1971 or 2030 in the future. We make and will make our own economy. It does not matter who's in the White House. It does not matter who's the Prime Minister of Canada or the President of the United States. We make our own economy. Sure, there's advantages to different governments at the time, but at the end of the day, it's 100% our responsibility to make our own economy. We make our own economy and we make our own personal badass world. So that was number one. I said, you know, you're dealing fantasy sold as reality. I said, it's not hard to tell that you're watching the news. I said, you're going to be told every single day that nobody's spending money, that the end of the earth or world is soon, all this other BS. I said, and then you turn around and project it onto your staff, onto your prospects, onto the people you're trying to sell cars to. So mindset was number one in my response. But you'll love this. If this isn't proof that we live in the greatest two countries in the world with unlimited wealth, unlimited opportunity, and unlimited abundance, nothing will. So I thought about it for a second. What would I do if I owned a Porsche dealership or a Rolls-Royce dealership or a Harley-Davidson dealership? When I'm dealing with the top 5% clientele, maybe top 4% in this case, what would I do? And what would I market to? So first of all, I decided that I would market to affluents, but you buy a Porsche, you buy a Rolls Royce, you buy a Harley Davidson because of status. You buy a Rolex watch because of status. That's the old Rolex saying where the guy met the Rolex CEO for lunch and he asked the Rolex CEO, how's the watch business? And the CEO of Rolex looked across the table and said, I have no idea. I'm in the luxury business. You're not in the jewelry business, you're in the luxury business. You're not in the Rolls Royce or Porsche business. You're in the affluent business. You're in the association business. I own and drive a Harley. That's a brotherhood. That's a sisterhood. I own a Rolls Royce. That's a brotherhood. That's a sisterhood. That's marketing to the affluent and ultra affluent. So I gave that a little bit of thought and I said, here's what I would do. I said, how many salespeople do you have? He says, well, I got 4 of them. And I said, they probably do fuck all during the day. And he said, basically, they do fuck all during the day. I said, they're not salespeople, they're order takers. If somebody walks on the lot, they go out there and bother them, try to get the sale. Those are order takers. They're not scripted professionals. They're not scripted closers. They're not pros. They're Bush League order takers. So I said, put those guys to work. Put those guys and gals to work. I said, do you have a list? He said, well, I have a list. But he says, what my challenge is I have a list of about 1,000 names, 1,000 addresses of people who have either bought in the past or they've at least shown interest and come on the dealership lot at least once or twice. So these are buyers or potential buyers. This is a great list. And he's got their addresses, he's got their cell phone numbers. He actually has 1,000 names here. But he said, the problem is it's a dead list. And I said, what do you mean it's a dead list? And he said, well, they haven't bought or shown interest or visited the dealership in 10 years. So I said, well, that is a dead list. What do you do with a dead list? You clean it and you bring it back to life. You clean it and you bring it back to life. But nonetheless, they haven't had any activity in 10 years. They haven't sent them a newsletter. They haven't sent them an email. They haven't sent them a video. They haven't sent them a Christmas card, a Thanksgiving card. They haven't sent them any offers to come on the lot in a decade. So that is the ultimate dead list. Those people on that list don't even know about that dealership anymore, even if they did buy a car 10 years ago. So I said to him, okay, here's how I would attack that dead list, because that's a potential asset in your business that's just lying there dormant. I said, I'd take those tomato can salespeople that work for you, and I said, I'd put them to work, and I would make it mandatory that they do the following. So get them, they all have their iPhones where they can take photos. And I said, here's what I would do every single week for the next 4 weeks and test this. You always test. You test small and see whether you got a winner or a loser on your hands. I said, what's your most popular car? He tells me it's this particular type of Porsche convertible in this particular color. And it's new and it's the thing. I said, okay, how many of those do you have? He says, I have 2 of them on the lot. I said, great. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna send out, and you can do this consistently every day a few times when it's, you leave 2 salespeople on the floor and 2 salespeople can go and do this promotion. So take that most popular car, that coolest car, that most impactful car, and I said, drive it to the homes. Drive it to the homes of the first 100 people on that list. So he's got a dead list of 1,000 names and addresses. I said, start with 50 or 100. So he says, okay, I could do 100. So He takes this Porsche, he gets his salesman. They're not doing jack shit anyways, right? They're in there reading the Auto Trader. They're in there working on their fantasy football leagues. They're in there on Facebook. They're doing everything but selling. So I said, make them go out and drive this car to the homes of these people on the list, this dead list. And I said, park the car in the driveway, okay, in the driveway. This is during the day, so most people, there's no vehicle in their driveway. They're gone to work. People that own Porsches are gone to work. And I said, and then take a photo of it. If you can't park it in the driveway, park it on the street in front. Good morning. Park it on the street in front of the home. But get the house, get the driveway, and get the Porsche in their driveway. And I said, take that picture. And then I said, do that each day a few times, maybe 10 photos, okay, each day. In 10 days, you've done 100 people. You've done 100 people on the list to test. So I said, print off those pictures in full color, like an old Polaroid, right? An old Polaroid. And I said, do you have thank you cards? Well, yeah, we have I said, not corporate stuff. I said, thank you cards from you guys. Okay, I can get those made, you know. A thank you card with Michael McLean's name on it, as an example. So he gets these thank you cards printed up, 500 of them. It costs next to nothing. It's like $100. And I said, get invitation style. So it looks like a wedding invitation. It looks like a party invitation. And I said, don't skimp at all. I said, good, really great thank you cards, blank, with maybe your name at the top. And I said, nice, colorful envelopes, nothing on them. And I said, what you're gonna do is each salesperson is going to handwrite, and to give them the script, tell them what it is, when they're sitting at their desks there, instead of scrolling Twitter and seeing what LeBron James is doing, they can actually do some writing and some selling. And so put in the photo of the Porsche, and then in the card write something like, Dear John, I just wanted you to see what it would be like for you to come home to Mercury Porsche. Signed, the owner. Dear John, I just wanted you to see what it would be like to come home to Mercury Porsche. Your friend, John Lewis. And then the contact number, of course, business card, that's it. Phone number, business card, that's it. So you put the picture in there, you seal it up, and then you hand address the invitation envelope. You know, big blue Sharpie, has to be blue, not black. And then circle the entire address with a red Sharpie. That's a huge tip right there. You write out in blue Sharpie always on an envelope, an invitation, any envelope, big red circle around it, which just, it gets it delivered, it gets it opened even more. I said live stamps, you have to use big live stamps. Go to the post office and see if there's Elvis stamps, see if there's, you know, whatever it is, President Day stamps, anything that's cool. And I said, put this live stamps on there always. And then your return address in the corner should never, ever be a business name. It should be, you know, mine is M. McLean at, and my address. So it's like coming from a real live person. So there's no way for this recipient to see that this is a business mailing. It looks like an invitation from a friend. It looks like a thank you card from a friend. It is. So he does this and he gets 100 of them done. Not as fast as I would like, but he gets 100 photos, 100 thank you cards, and sends them out. Literally costs him like $200. No more, $200. Plus he's got his sales team working. Well, I get an update the other day. How many cars do you think he sold? And by the way, these aren't These aren't nuclear physicist salespeople that he's got employed. But still, how many Porsches do you think he sold out of those 100 thank you cards with photos of cars in their driveways in less than the 2 months? In less than the 2 months. 23 cars. 23 Porsche cars, most of them that particular brand, that particular model, most of them, not all, 23. Out of 100 mailings, out of 100 simple thank you cards with a photo in their driveway, he closed 23 new deals. We're not selling tomatoes on the side of the road here. These are expensive cars. These are ultra affluent people. That's taking 100 people on a dead list that didn't even know his business existed anymore because he had neglected it so poorly, and he turns around and he mails them a handwritten invitation with a photo of the vehicle in their driveway with a nice handwritten message, and he sells 23 Porsche cars out of that in 60 days. And he's got 900 names left on a dead list. 900 names. So he got a 23% ROI response. So, so 70%, 60, whatever, 23% of people said, hell yeah. And the other large percentage said, it's just not the right time to buy a vehicle. So he's going to sell even more than 23 if he follows up. Those people should be follow up with two more offers, whether it's a postcard, whether it's a special mailing. Those 100 people, those 75 people, 7 people that didn't buy, they are an automatic follow-up in another 30 days, in another 60 days, whether it's another invitation, something a little different, a postcard, whatever it is, put on a mailing list. And man, he can turn those 23 sales, he can turn that 23% response probably into 30%. Could you imagine investing $200 and you sell, I don't know, $500,000 in cars? More than that, way more than that. When I do math, strong men tremble. The only thing I'm good at counting is money. So, you tell me what's stopping you. You tell me that we've got a tough economy. You tell me that we've got scared prospects. You make your own economy. Here's a guy who takes 100 invitations, takes some photos, gets his guys out there working, takes 100 names on a dead list, neglected former buyers and prospects. And what does he do? He takes that list with one simple mailing, the way I told you, and he turns it into a pot of gold. Who the hell sells 23 cars out of the blue in 60 days? And that's, good morning, that has nothing to do with his normal customer intake. The guy's probably selling a car every 2 days. What excuse do you have in your business? What excuse? And by the way, this strategy would work in any business I'm in. Whether I'm a dentist, whether I'm a candlestick maker, whether I own a pizzeria shop, whether I own a flooring company, whether I own a car wash, whether I'm an insurance broker, whether I'm a real estate agent, whether I own a driving range for golfers, there is no different business. I would be doing something like this to step out from the crowd and show up like nobody else. That's called category of one advertising and marketing. Do you think anybody else is taking the time to take their top selling vehicle, drive it to a person's house, park it in the driveway or in front of the home, take a picture and send it in a handwritten card to their prospects and clients and past buyers? Nobody. There is no competition. when I hear it's tough out there, or there's lots of competition, or this business is tough, or this business is tough, or I can't compete on price and all this stuff, it's just called burying yourself in your own bullshit. You make your own economy. So that is how the great Sir MJM helped one of my newsletter subscribers sell 23 Porsche vehicles in 50 some days. It was less than 2 months. And do you think that his investment in my monthly newsletter, do you think his investment of $3.24 a day is worth it? Do you think that that's a good ROI? He pays me $97 a month, and I help him. I didn't do it for him, he did it for himself. I help him with the strategies and tactics and just general ideas, because he asked me a question, I answered it, and he sells 23 Porsches with hundreds more to come. He's going to take that list of 1,000, and he's going to keep taking photos and keep mailing invitations, and he's going to take that 23%, and he's going to do that across the board. You imagine he's going to end up selling over 100 Porsches off a dead list that he thought was done. Imagine what he can do with his actual buyers list. Can you imagine with the people that he actually has a relationship with the people that have bought a car in the last 2 to 3 years, people that still know that he exists? That's unlimited. We are awash in trillions of dollars. We are awash in rivers of money. I told my 10-year-old yesterday, I said, make sure in any business you're in, Emery, I said, find out where the rivers of money are and go stand in them. I said, leave the scraps for everybody else. Leave the grinding for everybody else. You know, trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I said, no. Go to the top 1%ers and sell them something they need, and let everybody else battle it out at the 99% bottom. You know, can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and you can't squeeze money out of broke people. So go where the trillions of dollars are flowing. This guy is selling cars to people that it's not an issue about price. They're not looking for a sale. They're not looking for a discount. It's status. You buy a Porsche because of status. You drive a Cadillac because of status. You rent a private jet because of status. You buy a Harley Davidson because of status. You buy a Rolex watch because of status. You smoke Cuban cigars because of status. You drink a certain type of expensive scotch because of status. And you're part of my champion masterminds. They're part of it because of status. They're above everybody else. We're mastermind members. Status. I mean, it's a real thing. So, do you think he got his $3.24 per day out of that? That's how much it costs to be part of my monthly Michael McLean World Building newsletter. It's a physical newsletter, 22 pages. I ship it to your home or your office for free every month. You just pay for the newsletter membership. And you've also got the private locker room, which is anti big tech. It's not fake book. It's not anything to do with big tech. Marc Andre has found this incredible school software, and we built our own online locker room. It's like a forum, and it's good morning. It's a forum where we're all in there privately asking questions, posting videos, discussing marketing, discussing wins, losses. It's called the World Builders Locker Room, and it's the opposite of big tech. It's not anything to do with big tech. It's a private run company by the great Sam Ovens, and that's where we host our school program. So you have online and you have offline. So this March, I'm dedicating the entire 22-page issue. It's a bad boy. I'm working on it right now. And I'm going to dedicate it to 100% marketing ideas. 100%. I usually do a lot of marketing, a lot of sales, but I also do fitness and health. I also do marriage. I do mental toughness. But this month, March 2023, I'm dedicating the entire newsletter to the marketing, my best marketing strategies that have helped me sell $155 million in products and services in the last 19 years. I have sold over $155 million of products and services in the insurance business, in the hockey business, in the barbershop business, in the consulting business, in the real estate business in the last 19 years. Well over 155 million and counting. Well, guess what? I'm going to fill that jumbo March edition with my top strategies for doing so. What I still use today with my consulting company, what I still use with my real estate portfolio, and the best ideas that I see come across my desk as a coach and consultant. I'm gonna open up the box, my swipe file that I've used over the last 2 decades to sell over $155 million. That is what is going to be in the next newsletter. Plus, if you subscribe, look at that. I will throw in one of these $60 badass Be Relentless t-shirts. It says Be Relentless on the back. I will throw that in as a free gift. Those are like $57. These are really nice. This is what I walk in, what I work in. And this is what I go to the gym in. So it's called #badass. I'll throw one of those $60 gifts in with March newsletter, and all you pay is the $324 a day, $97 a month. That is fucking pocket change. A homeless person begging for money at the stop sign in Fort Myers, not here in Naples, they don't allow that shit, can afford that. A person begging on the street can afford that. A cell phone addict can afford that. So make sure to go, I'll put the link below. It's badassletter.com. Badassletter.com. I'm going to open up immigration. I haven't done it in a couple months. I'm going to open up immigration to become a subscriber to my newsletter plus the free t-shirt. I'm going to do all that. I'm going to keep immigration open for the few days that my mom and dad are here visiting from Canada. So from the week that they're here, which is this week, they're here from Tuesday to Wednesday, 8 days. I am going to open up my newsletter borders. I have borders, by the way. Any country has borders. I'm not a weak ass like Creepy Joe. I have borders. I build walls. My companies have walls. My personal life has walls. My barber shop had walls. My hockey team had walls. My insurance agency had walls. My entire world is built around immigration and walls, repelling the 99% of the people I want nothing to do with, and keeping and inviting and opening up the doors to the top 1%ers that I do. Yes, I believe in walls. And yes, I believe that if you don't have a secure border, you don't really have a society. So my badass planet badass that I've created here for you, it's a distinct society. Who's this society for? It's for elite men, 45 and above, 55, 65, 75, married with children, grandchildren in some cases, 5, 6, 7, even 8-figure earners, successful. You're successful already, but you're struggling in one or two other areas. Could be marketing, could be significance, You want to build your legacy. You want to be more than success. You want significance. You want to be remembered, not forgotten. It's, community service could be a challenge, maybe physical, mental health. But that's what we're doing here is we're helping elite, generous, and driven men just like you build the championship world of your dreams. That's it. People ask me at a cookout, they say, Michael, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a world building supremacist. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm a world building extremist. And they're just like, boom, their mind is blowing. I don't even go any further than that. So that's the fun I have with Goofy at cookouts and barbecues. Badassletter.com. Badassletter.com. It's your mental vitamins for the month. Every month I arrive in a shiny red envelope. I've got inserts in there. I've got examples. I've got philosophy. I got marketing. And I'm going to go to town in the March edition with my best marketing sales scripts, the postcard that increased my business by 30%. Does this stuff still work in 2023? Nope. It works even better. Everything. Direct mail, physical mail now works better. Newsletters work better now than ever before. Postcards work better. Magazine ads work better. Offline works better. Sending photos to your dead list with a Porsche in their driveway works better. Badassletter.com. The deadline is the day my parents' wheels go up, which will be Wednesday. I'm just doing this off my head. Wednesday, March 8th is the deadline. I'm closing immigration on Wednesday, March 8th. As soon as the wheels go up on my parents' private jet and they return to nuclear winter in Canada, immigration is closed until the next month. In other words, you have till March 8th before you miss out, before you're left on the sidelines. I don't sell past issues. So once an issue is created and my members have it, I don't sell back issues as of today. I've never sold a back issue. So don't try looking for old issues. This is going to be a special $155 million swipe file edition, the best of my marketing ever. And it's going to be in the March edition. And the deadline for you to register and to join the Brotherhood will be Wednesday, February the 8th, when wheels are up at 10:30 in the morning and my parents return to Canada. What more can I do? Plus, I'm going to throw in a free t-shirt. That's it. What's stopping you? 23 Porsches with 100 photos and 100 handwritten invitations. Man, oh man, you make your own economy. You make your own economy. That's it for today. 2 words that change my world. 2 words that will change your world. Make sure that out there, make sure you're kicking ass and taking names. Everybody's playing oaf defense. Everybody's on their heels. Everybody's at home hiding. Everybody's playing not to lose. Make sure you're on your toes, swinging for the fences. Burn those boats, burn those ships. Go all in on you. And man, oh man, swing for the fences and play offense like never before. Like Matt Fury says, 4 words: kick ass and take names. Kick ass and take names. And 2 words that changed my life and 2 words that'll change your life: be relentless.